YouTube? It's Dan from the James Prigione YouTube channel, coming to you live from Jersey. The food forest is at the next level now, high production, so let me go through, show you guys what it looks like. Let's go. We're starting off on the side here. You can see the side garden to the right there. This is just an extension of the side garden. We got a lot of high production over here, guys. There's a blueberry right in front of me to my right. Here's some peppers, still green, but getting ready to brown up. Those are the chocolate peppers. Here we got a bunch of tomatoes, so heavy it brought the steak over. A lot of tomatoes. Tomatoes are really starting to get into high production. Here's a Rosita eggplant. Got a bunch of those. Some of the kale over here just looks beautiful. Really great growth. I love that kale, the dino kale. It's my favorite kind of kale right there. Really good. And the peppers, just incredible year for peppers this year, guys. Highest I've ever got production-wise. Goji berry in the back there. Cucumbers trellised up along the side. Now we're getting into the entrance. One of the entrances for the food forest. Got a bunch of cucumbers, guys. This is one of my favorite varieties of cucumbers right here. It's a Japanese variety, one I've had for years. I don't know the exact name of it. I've just saved seeds from it, and it's my favorite fresh-eating cucumber that I have. Really good crunch, just delicious. Here's a bunch of different kind of cucumbers here. Really good. There's some cucumbers growing right next to tomatoes there. Just thriving right next to each other. It's fun just brushing the cucumber leaves around, looking for cucumbers. It's a good time. I always find something new. The level of production for the whole garden is I would say 10 to 20 times more than last year. Really just stepped it up this year. Really happy with the results, and I'm definitely going to be implementing the same techniques next year that I did this year, because I'm just really happy with the overall results. Look at the production on this tomato here, just loaded. There's a gooseberry planted there too, if you didn't notice. Sometimes it's hard to see everything because things are planted so densely. These grapes have just taken over, trellised over here, which we were hoping to do, and it just really came out beautiful. Even better than we hoped. It's so nice to hang out in the shade here on a hot day. Just look into the food forest and just kind of have a little place to escape. Just really satisfied with how everything came out. And just the level of production has just been off the charts this year. A lot of these tomatoes just came up on their own. These little red currant tomatoes, they're almost like a wild tomato. They just come up everywhere now. I actually can identify them when they're younger plants, so I can take them out if I like, but sometimes I like to keep them in certain locations. Here's the Rosita eggplant. We really got a lot of eggplant this year as well. This was one of my favorite ones. I'm definitely going to be growing the Rosita next year. I don't think I'm going to be growing the eggplant that I showed before, the Rosa Bianca, next year. I think I'm going to stick with the Rosita, this one, and then the pink tongue long eggplants, which I've showed in previous videos. Some more of the Rosa Biancas. Zucchinis are in high production. Got so many zucchinis this year, made some zucchini parm. Right next to raspberries, right underneath a nectarine tree. Everything just growing in harmony with one another. Basils have gotten huge. You can see the basil starting to flower here, so what I do is just pick off those flowers, and that encourages the basils to just bush out. I call this topping the basil plants, especially when they start to go to flower like this. Instead of letting them go to flower and kind of that being the end of the plant, letting it go to seed, I like to top the basil so it keeps it into growing vegetation and in high production. So I'll pull this top off right here, and then you can see how there's two new tops that'll grow right there, and we'll continue the length of production and also get more tomatoes back here. Just full sets of beautiful tomatoes. A little bit of cracking, which is expected due to when we get a big rain, but really high production with the tomatoes. Really happy with it. Also got some beautiful cabbages this year. Love fresh cabbage. More tomatoes, and you see some more cabbages over here as well. Cucumbers all growing up along the side. Here's the persimmon tree right there. More cucumbers, just overloaded with cucumbers this year. Just in sets too. There's another one of the Japanese cucumbers there, and there's a couple cucumbers underneath here growing all together. So I actually juiced a lot of cucumbers this year because I had too many to eat. So next year I'm going to have to do something to give them away or sell them. Drop the camera there for a minute. But There's some beautiful cosmos, big ones. Here's the pear tree that I did the video of tasting the different kinds of pears. It did great this year, especially for how small of a tree it was and the high production. Beautiful Chijuro pear right there. I love the Asian pears. Way better than the European pears in my opinion. Almost more similar to an apple. That's the way I could describe it. And I love apples, one of my favorite fruits. Got more cucumbers going over here. These are mostly the pickling cucumbers on this side, where I made pickles with. I made about 30 jars of pickles this year. More tomatoes. I love these tomatoes, these ones. Really good. High production too. I'm definitely going to be growing those next year. Here's that nectarine tree. Did great. There's a new cherry tree, sweet cherry put in. That'll help pollinate our Bing cherry, which should be in high production next year. Grapes growing everywhere. The Santa Rosa plum tree. Here's another pear tree. This is the Moonglow Pear. Some beautiful pears on it also. Here's the corner where it gets a little more shade, as you can tell. There's the big Bing cherry tree I was talking about. There's another apple tree right in front of us. There's some more tomatoes here. And you get the raspberry patch in the back that just really blew up this year. There's an apricot tree mixed into there. There's another big apricot tree to my left. And more high production zucchini plants. I appreciate you guys watching. I know it ended kind of quick because I didn't film an outro. But I just wanted to let you guys know I did a harvest from today. So that's going to be one of the next videos coming out, today's harvest. So it's going to be a real awesome video. I appreciate it if you guys checked it out. Also, here is a link to one of my previous videos. So you can click the link or click the subscribe button below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for following along. James Prigioni is out.